Hey everybody, I am the MoeChicken. Welcome to my stream. Yeah, my stream schedule's just messed up this week. Well, we're gonna play more Zelda. Do the thing. Go. Yeah, I don't know. I got off at the beginning of the week, and then I kind of got in this habit of, or I got in this mind pattern where I was sort of like, oh, every 2 days I'm supposed to stream. So here we are. Yeah, we're gonna be back on Zelda Parallel Worlds tonight because I liked it. I had fun with it before, and I want to play more. Though unfortunately, we are now in the second world. Our good boy here, Gnarp, began his journey last time to save Princess Zelda and overthrow the evil King Dragor. In the process, both people died. So, partial win? Yep, Zelda and all the maidens are dead. And now we're in the icy world, which is supposedly where they came from. And we are... Oh, don't steal from me, you stupid poop. We are on our way to do things. Win. Now, something that's kind of interesting about the second world in this game is that because most of the dungeons don't require you to have a specific item to beat them, you can actually do them kind of out of order if you want to. Like, there's not really a specific order. There are also only 6 of them as compared to 7. I think there's 6 of them. Anyway, as you can see up there, that one is the parallel tower for this world, but we're not going to go there. First, we are going to go to the village because that's what Gnarp said we should do. Later on, we're going to come back here. That cave, very important. We'll come back later. Also, I have 500 rupees, which is a very important and valuable number to have because there is a shop nearby that sells the second level shield for exactly 500 rupees. So I'm gonna go get it. Go get it. I would like to be able to block pew pew shots. So there are lots of them in this game. There's so many pew pew shots in this game. So many pew pew shots. Gotta overcome that. Oh, these guys. Yeah. So what's interesting, this is not the case in the original game, I don't think, but you can kill those little, like, bomb dropper guys with the hookshot in this game. So it makes the hookshot extremely valuable in the Dark World. Yes, hello. Give me the Hylian shield. Thank you. Hooray! And as you might guess, as I mentioned before, they were obsessed with the Ocarina of Time, so yes, it is the Hylian shield and not the large shield, early, I guess, second level shield from before. Kill. Okay, cool. So let's see. So yes, I'm going to the village, which I believe is to the south of here. Oh, that's right. I still have the shovel. Shovel. This is the newest strange thing in this particular version of the game I'm playing, is that they give you the shovel, which I don't think they gave you at all in the other version. So I got the shovel, which means I can dig up things like hearts and rupees and such. It's honestly surprisingly useful. You know, it's like I wouldn't have expected for the shovel to be as valuable as it has turned out to be, but it has turned out to be very valuable. Mostly just because, for whatever reason in this game, bushes don't really drop very much. Typically, bushes will only drop rupees, if that, and frequently they don't even do that. But the shovel still digs up stuff, so it's genuinely very useful. I guess maybe that was a change they made to make it easier to reacquire resources in this version of the game. I don't know. Suffice it to say, it was not in the version I played before, so it is new to me. Hello. Frickin' jumping lever. I swear that's what those are supposed to be. I can't imagine what else they're supposed to be. Weird tentacle monsters. I don't know. Ropers? Maybe they're ropers. The house. Let's go inside. Oh, it's the bomb shop. Well, hello, sir. I don't think I need bombs right now. Yeah, I'm good on bombs, but good to know you're here. Thank you. See you later. Once again, keeping up with the tradition of way too many birds. Way too many birds in this ROM hack. So many birds. All right, I'm gonna start digging again. I'm looking for hearts. Did anyone bury live hearts underground? Or I guess, would you call it? I guess you wouldn't call it live if it's there. Just trying to imply, fresh might be a better way to put it. Fresh hearts? Is there fresh meat underground in this village? I could use it if it's present. Is this Castlevania? Did you hide things in the ground? No. I'm finding money and stuff. That's good. Like, it almost seems like the rate at which you find things underground is as good as, like, the digging game from the original Link to the Past. It's, like, really productive to just dig. Digging underground. Very helpful. Get all kinds of stuff this way. And, as you can see, I am healthy once more, or at least moderately healthy. Let's check out this house. What's inside? Not much. Really? They've got a bowl of frog to eat. Hooray. Oh, money. Oh, come on. This one landed on the bed. What am I... Oh, okay. Never mind. I was like, how am I supposed to get that? Like that. Nope, nothing else. This is just a room with some money. Hooray. Got it. Got that funds. Got that $20. Let's check out this house. I like how there's a house, like, under construction. I think that's neat. Oh, hello, sir. It's a real human being. You don't know where you are. It's the village, of course. What? It's not the same. You came from another world. Oh, now that you mention it, there were 7 maidens who hid a series of clues across this vast world. When they left, they vowed to make this land a warmer place to live in. That was quite a long time ago, so I guess they weren't successful. You want to know how to get to the other world? I heard the maidens used an object they found in the Lava Land's parallel tower. Oh, and Hunter used to live in the house just south of here. Just making conversation. Good luck. Okay, bye. So that Hunter comment, super useful. Because we want what the Hunter left behind. Because what the Hunter left behind is this room with a chicken. Hang on, wait. Do y'all remember how a woman was talking about using magic powder on chickens? Poof. Look, it's a person. What? You turned me into a human. I couldn't even speak. Oh, it must be you who's always teasing me friends. What, you want to know how to see underneath things? That's easy. Just use the X button along the left shoulder, whatever that means. This human shape's uncomfortable for me. I want to be a chicken again. Yeah, I don't blame you. Smiley face. Smiley face. Yay! Yeah, so this is the woman who teaches you that you can do the X and R button thing with the L button if you just hadn't tried it yet in the game. So, yeah. This is the other side of the lens of truth in this game. And it will be useful for one of the dungeons later on. So that's good. Now then. We must now go into this... I guess this is the hunter's house. It kind of looks like a barn, but let's go inside. Well, oh, it's dark. Hang on, it's dark. Light, please. Yeah, yeah. Alright, sounds good. No one lives here anymore, and I wouldn't care even if they did, so let's blow open the walls. Ba-boom! Alright, what about this one? Yep. And ba-boom! Alright, what about this one? Not that one. Okay. Light again, please. Light. Light. What's in here? A gaggle, as always. Oh. Beamos. Dude just had a couple of Beamos in his house, along with a bunch of spikes and a tile trap, because of course there's a tile trap. Why would you think otherwise? Of course there's a tile trap. Oh, the bow! I got the bow now! Very helpful. That's what we wanted here. I don't actually remember if the, great, thank you. I don't remember if the top direction does anything or not, actually. What's up here? Up here we have kind of a narrow passageway. Alright. What lurks inside? Boom. Okay. Heart container. I'll take it. Sure. Very useful. Actually, interesting thing. I mentioned in the last stream of this that I played that I was playing the remodel version as well. The remodel version actually makes this room harder for some reason. It puts more spikes in it, and I actually have not figured out how to pass it yet in the remodel version. I'm not really sure. It's a rare circumstance in which the remodel is harder than the original. But anyway, I think we are just about done in the village for now. Down here, this is just that's a fortune teller's house. So, is there anything else to do here? There's a bird. Kill. There's a jumping lever. I'll let you survive this time. See you later. He's shaking. He was scared of my threat. Hello, what's over here? Oh, hey, look. Light World guards. What are y'all doing here? They're like, we got lost here. Can you help us get home? Alright, that already went there. That was the bomb shop. And it's honestly kind of a small village. Like, there's not really many houses here. Alright, what's next? Next, let us go and see what our house is in the dark world. Alright. That's important. Kill. Kill. Signpost. Beach and forest. Okay. Let's go. Hey man, what's up? Kill. Kill. To beach. Okay. Hello. Freaking choo-choo. I like the pickle men better than the choo-choos, honestly. It's cool that they made a choo-choo model, but I like the pickle men better. Uh-oh, sneeze coming on. Hang on. I hate sneezing. Oh, no one. Oh, hello, bug, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'll tell you a profitable story if you pay me 20 rupees. How about it?
Sure.
Thank you. The magic pond can make your sword stronger. It's in the lake ruins.
Oh, that's helpful. We'll go to the lake ruins next. Blair. Boom, shakalaka. Oh, that's not very exciting. I thought maybe you would have a treasure chest, but instead you just have skulls. You just have a collection of human skulls in your back room, sir. You're a monster. Goodbye. It's always weird to me, like in a lot of video games, you know, you see skulls everywhere in a lot of games. Those were all people's heads at one point in time. Those had flesh on them at some point. All right, hello. I believe I've located all the dungeons in this world. The names of the dungeons correspond to the 7 sages. Okay, there are 7 of them. 7 sages and Ocarina of Time. Okay. Does that mean that Ocarina of Time exists in this world? Like, did they play? Like, is there an N64 somewhere around here? Raoul resided in a sealed temple. Lake ruins instantly come to mind. Next is Rudo. She lives in water, so I believe the ice fortress is hers. Nabura's a thief, so her lair will naturally be somewhere deep underground. Naruni lives in a volcano, so look someplace hot, perhaps the tower area. Sari lives in the forest. Oh, that seems simple enough. We all know where that is. Sheik is a mysterious person. I wasn't able to find any information on this dungeon. Impa, on the other hand, seems to live in the shadows. Try searching someplace dark. For beginners, I suggest going to Raoru's ruins first, then take on Naburu, Impa, etc. Get the fire rod before trying Rudo. So, that order that you're provided there isn't great. Raoru's ruins is actually a pretty tough dungeon, and I honestly would not recommend going there first, mostly because I went there first. And, it was hard. That said, it is one of the more dungeon-like of the dungeons in this game. Like, what's kind of unusual about the Ice World dungeons is that some of them are dungeons in kind of like the traditional sense, and then others are more like puzzles, I guess you could say. Like, for example, Naburu's Naburu's Hole, which is the name of the Naburu dungeon, is a puzzle in that it's just a series of like drops, like you just keep falling, and you're supposed to like find your way to the bottom. There's like almost no enemies in it. It's mostly just trial and error. Can you find the end of the dungeon? As compared to like Rudo's Fortress, which is a full-on dungeon. So it's one of the things that's kind of like, I would not be surprised if it is somewhat divisive about this ROM hack. The fact that, like, you know, some of the dungeons are just kind of like, they're more like the Sheikah shrines from Breath of the Wild, where it's just sort of like, we came up with this one idea and we want you to work with it. You know, it's like, figure out this one idea we came up with. So, I don't know. It just depends on what you like, but... Alright, what do we got in here? Oh, this place. I don't think I ever figured out how to get up there. This is obviously an ice palette carbon copy of the Thieves' House from Link to the Past in the forest, in which you'd normally fall down from the top and find a heart piece, but I don't know where you'd fall in this instance, because there's not really like a... There's this. Yeah, that doesn't have anything. There's not really like a corresponding hole, so not really sure, actually. Oh, hello. I have a hook shot for you. Oh, hey. Where'd you come from? Alright, what do we got in here? Looking for treasures? Yes. Ow. Don't do that, though. Splody time. Hooray! Oh. More of the same. Okay. More human heads. What's this way? Alright. What about you? Yep. Okay, it's a fairy. Very helpful. This appears to be a duplicate of that that one area in Death Mountain. Oh. Aha! Aha! You see it? Yeah, there you go. Using that lens of truth, baby. Yeah. I got a key. All right, so that's a power. This is a parallel tower key room. Gotcha. See, I mean, like the lens of truth thing is really cool. I just wish they'd used it more. Like there are very few places in this game where they actually properly used the lens of truth, and because it is so underutilized, I would almost prefer to have dungeon maps, because the dungeon maps are completely gone as a result. It's especially significant in Sheik's Fortress. Oh my gosh, Sheik's Fortress is such a mess because you just don't have a dungeon map. Ugh, awful. But we'll get there. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, I'm in the Lake Ruins. This is where the that cave is supposed to be. I want this heart piece. Let me get that first. Hello, sir. Yeah, get out of here. I want this. Thank you. Here's a cave. Maybe this is where I need to go. Oh, it's a tree. Well, hello. What are you doing, buddy?
I know a bit about these treasures hidden in the dungeons around here. Ruto's palace has some great armor, but Sheik's hideout has a better version. Zarya's gardens has the fire rod, and the ether medallion is in a cave accessed via Impa's Waze. Good luck and best wishes.
Okay, cool. And lens of truth. Yep. Again, it's a cool idea. It's an awesome mechanic that I just wish was better utilized. Why do you also have a room filled with human skulls, Mr. Tree? What are you... Oh, I got another parallel tower key. Awesome. So there are only 6 out in the world, so if I find all 6, I'm set to go to the parallel tower whenever I want. It's just you got to make sure you have all of them before you go up there. There's also other things you need before you go up there. Alright, well, let's keep exploring the Lake Ruins. Because apparently there's a fairy fountain here somewhere. And I want that. I mean like a throw item fairy fountain, not a regular fairy fountain. Uh-huh. Oh. What's this? Hello? Hit. 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 That is a sturdy skull. Whoa. Push maybe? Alright. Okay, more of this. I was sitting there in my mind, I was like, I wonder if there are going to be tiles here. Yep. Like I said before, if there's a room where there can be tiles, there will be tiles. If there's enough space for the tile mechanic, it's going to show up. The designers could not help themselves. As many tiles as is humanly possible in this game. So many tiles. So many tiles! Oh. I'm in the volcano now. I don't want to be in the volcano. I don't want to be in the volcano. That's not where I'm supposed to be. Well, let's check it out. I mean, we are just exploring. We're trying to find stuff right now, so. Okay, so the cool thing about this, these little, like, glowy bits, you actually take damage here. It's supposed to be, like, active lava, so. That's kind of cool. I like how the designers used... Oh, these guys. I actually never figured out how to damage these monsters. You can't hit them with a sword. Okay, you can hit them with a sword. Never mind. I should have tried spinning sooner. I guess they have a really high damage threshold. All right, cool. Well, never mind. Never mind. This place is less dangerous now. Now that I know that. Why did I just never try spinning? I'm an idiot. There's another hole. What's down here? What lurks within? Oh, a shop. Okay. Well, I don't need anything right now. I'll buy a heart, I guess. Hey, give me a heart. Thank you. Whatever. I needed hearts. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. So one thing, I don't know if they ever used the initial song from oh hey, what's up, man?
You should leave here immediately. This land is cursed.
Okay, what about you?
It's too hot here. It's so cold elsewhere. There's no balance in this world.
All right, cool. You guys are helpful. About as helpful as they usually are, I suppose. Oh yeah, I don't think they ever used that song that is played when you first enter the Dark World in Link to the Past, the song. I actually kind of like that song. I wish it was actually used, but I don't believe it is. Oh, here's another cave. Oh, Impa's Waze. I was gonna do this dungeon tonight, hence the name of the stream. Impa's Waze is kind of weird. Remember I was talking about how like some of the dungeons are just like one idea repeated over and over again? This is one of them, and that idea is teleporters. It's a teleporter maze. Very few enemies. It's mostly just a teleporter maze. I mean, there's some benefit to that, but it's also kind of annoying. However, it's also important early on because it gives us access around the, Did his chain just move? What the heck? That's very strange. What's in here? Yeah, Impa's Waze can be used to get you from hither to yon in this place. Okay, so what do I need to do? Do I hit the things down, I guess? Burp. 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 No? Button? Oh, okay, it's just a button room. Alright. Oh, treasure! I'll take that. Yay! Ether medallion! Hooray! And a heart piece. Nice! Things are turning up gnarp. Good times. Alright, what about you? It looks like it should open, but it doesn't appear to. Alright, see you later. Go figure. Alright, so I think if I go down this hole, it brings me to Ruto's castle. I don't want to go there, so I'm going to go back up into Impa's Waze. We're going to struggle through this. Well, this also highlights one of the other frustrating things about the ice. I keep calling them Dark World dungeons, Ice World dungeons, Second World dungeons, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of trial and error where you're just sort of like, I haven't been this way yet. Let's do it. You know, you're just sort of like, maybe this is it. No? Okay. I'll try it again. You know, there's like, it's very unclear a lot of the time what you're supposed to be doing. And I think that's part of the reason why they included so few monsters. What does it say? Impa's Ways, enter to beat the dungeon if you know how. Okay, cool. Well, I don't, but I'll try anyway. In general, most of the portals should be avoided at this point. I'll try to get through this as best as I can. Again, I haven't played it in a while, so... Or rather, okay, let me back that up. I did play it recently, but I also had to use, like, a guide for Impa's Ways because it's just a mess. It's a mess. I used a guide for both Impa's Ways and Nibiru's hole. I had to figure out the depths of Nibiru's tiny hole. Oh, this looks useful. What's this? Oh, cool. That's helpful. Neat. All right. So will this bring me back to where I need to go is the question. Okay. Where am I now? No. It doesn't help that a lot of the areas look very similar. Okay, I think this is actually going to bring me back to where I just was, maybe? Yeah, okay, cool. That's good. So I got the big chest key. Helpful. Now I just need to find my way to the big chest. Wherever it is. I don't know, but I will find it. I will find it. I actually don't remember what the treasure is here. But I know I'm supposed to go this way. Oh, doggone it. Ugh. Okay. Shoot across. Okay. There we go. Okay. Da-da. I need Impa's Waze to find my way around here. It will tell me where road congestion is and such. That's a funny joke. Ha ha ha. Subscribe for more sick humor. I'm sorry. Back. Just heard something weird. Boom. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Do I go again? Is that how it works? I know that area that I was just in is important, but I don't remember why, unfortunately. No, I'm gonna go back in this one. Bring it back in here. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, there we go. I remembered it was important for something. Ice rod! That's marginally useful. I mean, it's a treasure. I'll take it. The other thing about Impa's Waze is I don't think it has a big key. But it does have a tablet. So the Ice World dungeons in this game they're just called ancient tablets. Each dungeon has one. And oh, where am I now? Hang on, wait, where am I? Oh, lava isles. Nope. Not where I'm supposed to be. The ancient tablets are sort of a trophy, I guess you could say. They're designed for something at the very end credit sequence, and if you have all of them, the ending credit sequence changes slightly. So they're cool to get, if you can find them. Okay, I want to go here. I don't know. The Dark World, I guess I should call it Second World or Ice World, dungeon theme is fine. You know, it sounds spooky, it sounds scary. It's just not as good as the First World dungeon theme. Man, the First World dungeon theme is so good. Love that song. What was down then? Did I go down here? Oh, look at this. There's like a little area place. Oh, there's a treasure. Hello, treasure. There we go, ancient tablet. You got a mysterious tablet. The use of this item is a secret to everybody. Her. All right, we'll go back. So I think that's all I need, actually. I really don't remember if there's a big key in this dungeon or not. Maybe there is. Maybe I should explore more thoroughly. Let's check more things. Now, one thing you can use to kind of figure out where you're going a little bit is that... Oh, okay. Back at square one. The teleporters will actually stay in the same position as you teleport around. So, like, you know if the teleporter is kind of in the upper section like this, it's probably going to lead you to one of these types of rooms. Again. Again. I think this is the one. Doo-doo. I guess this represents Impa in the sense that she's like sneaky and has the ability to get around very quickly, and also she moves in the shadows, but it's a weird dungeon. This is a strange idea for a dungeon. Just make a teleporter maze. Sure. It's fine. People will love it. I'm pretty sure both of those teleporters are kind of a trap. They just send you back to the beginning, so... Let us not enter them and instead go northward. Northward through the dungeon. Okay. Yay, money! I think you always get $5 every time you go through that room, so... Very helpful for those in need of fundage. What's this way? Ah! Well, that's a hole. That's not helpful. What's this way? Oh. Oh, nuts! I got trapped. I didn't mean to. Cars has. Bleh. Bleh. Yeah, okay. Back to the beginning. What's this way? What's this? Yes. I think I'm back at the beginning. Yeah, it's back at the beginning. Yeah, I thought that one was a trap. I remembered it not being terribly useful. Not being terribly useful. I was surprised to see that a fair number of people have actually watched my stream of the, the previous stream I did on this game, so it makes me wonder if people have played this game before. Are there people out there who have played Zelda Parallel Worlds? And what do you, dear viewer, think of it? I'd love to know. Because I mentioned it in the previous stream, and I won't harp on it too much this time, but my feelings on this game are very mixed. There's some parts I think are really good, like the overworld. I think the overworld is excellent in this game. Seth did an amazing job with the overworld. I think that Euclid, who made the dungeons, maybe overused certain elements. Looking at you, spikes, lasers, pew-pews, and tile puzzles. A little bit too many of those. Also, a little bit too much focus on reusing bosses. There are lots of the same bosses in this game. It's like, I really hope you like Vitreous, because you're going to see a lot of Vitreous. I think Vitreous is the name of the eyeball guy. I think we go up from here, yes? I don't know why they gave me the ice rod. Seems odd. Aha. Oh, I do need a big key. Huh, okay. Well, never mind. I wonder where the big key is. Is it here? Did I find the big key? I don't think I've ever been here, so let's check it out. Da-da. Da-da. This looks familiar. Da-da-da-da. Oh, this doesn't look familiar. Oh, treasure. Big key. Did it. Okay. Things are going really well. I mean, again, the main thrust of this dungeon is just the teleporter maze. Once you figure that out, you pretty much have it, you know? You just sort of like, just do that again. That and just the general confusion of how everything looks the same. Well, sort of the same. It's not the best idea for a dungeon, but it's not terrible. And now, I will have to fight a Moldorm again. Get ready for the Moldorm. Hello, Moldorm. And tiles. Moldorm. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. This boss fight is glitched. You actually cannot beat it until the tiles go away. So I actually have to just wait. If I kill the Moldorm early, I'll get him down to 1 hit. If I kill the Moldorm early, you don't beat it. I just have to, like, hang out now. It's dumb. It's not great. But, I mean, I doubt they meant for that to happen. Alright, in a second, I'm going to have to use my blue potion. That's why I have this. Ow. There we go. Once again, Cane of Burna coming in a clutch. Get the Cane of Burna if you want to play this game. Oh, no. What? Aw, doggone it. Do I have to do that all again? Yeah, I do. Boo! Yep. Alright. But yeah, if you don't... Oh, I got lucky. Okay, cool. It's actually very fortunate that the Moldorm wound up down there. Because I don't have to deal with him now either. I just have to kind of survive the tile madness. Wait, the music changed. The music changed to the dungeon, or the first world dungeon theme. Why? Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet it defaulted to that thanks to the fact that this is a Moldorm fight. That's silly. All right, come on. Oh my gosh. All right, well, that's not helpful. I need to go get stuff. I can't beat him like this. Boo. Boo. I mean, the good news is we know how to beat him now. You know, it's like it's not going to be hard at this point. It's just frustrating to have to do it again. Now I must make my way over to the potion shop. I need potion. Oh no, not a bee. Bees! Get out of here. Actually, I wonder if I should dig up some hearts. Let me just dig along the way. It's so useful. Digging is so useful in this version for some reason. Why do they give me this power? Why do I have this power? I can dig and find all my like the world is laid bare before me. Yes, so much money, so much power. Thanks to my having a shovel. Oh, the power. Oh, the power of shovel. Oh, what's over here? Oh, herpes. I'll take that. Oh, the power of shovel. You don't even know. Do you even know the power of the shovel? The shovel in this game is genuinely as useful as the shovel is in Link's Awakening. It's so helpful. Find so much good stuff just by shoveling. Just shoveling around. Look at me go. Look at me go. Look at me go. Yes. I feel like that's a bit of a low bar, though, to be excited that I'm finding, like, basic items by using a shovel. You know, it's like, oh, this game is so much more playable now that I can get hearts back in safe areas. Nice, I'm getting a lot of money from these dudes. Oh, it's a freaking bee! Get out of it, bee! You and your ilk. Ow! Go away, bird. Bird! Ha! You know, one thing I'm happy that they did, I'm glad that the game designers reused that monster, because it always seemed weird to me that you find that monster in like one random corner of the light world in the original Link to the Past, and it's just like never really used again. It's just like a very properly or improperly not optimized, but improperly used monster, you know? You could have done more with that. And in this particular ROM hack, they did. Oh, apparently I cannot dig dirt. I can only dig grass. Good to know. Hello, sir. Sir? sir. Ah. Oh, we're near the yeah, we're near the lake. Let's get the let us get the sword upgrade while we're here. That'll be useful. Hi there. I'd like a sample, please. Thank you. I'll take that. Based on that sample, I'll take the blue potion. Thanks very much, sir. Thank you very much. Bam. Up. Oh, I can also explain one thing. So, in this game, one of the things you can throw into the fairy's pond is your magic powder. Doing so nets you the Quake Medallion, which has an additional benefit from just, being the Quake Medallion. In this game, if you have, I think, both Bombos and Quake, both of which are obtained by throwing things into the fairy fountain, which is right down here, you get your MP regenerates, I think, at like 4 times speed or something. It's a good boost. The problem is, when I played this game before, I made extensive use of using magic powder to get fairies in dungeons. I don't want to give that up, not even for better MP regeneration. So we're probably not going to get Quake. All right, I'm going to throw in my sword. My sword. My sword. Hello, madam. Yes, please. So a stinky thing about the level 3 sword, it's not really better than this level 2 sword. There are a couple of enemies, like 4 enemies in the game, that it is actually better against. Everyone else, nah. Let me try this. If I throw in my boomerang, will you give me a red boomerang? I don't think she does. I think if you get the blue boomerang, you do not get the red boomerang. Yeah, okay. There we go. Boomerang! But yeah, it's like, apparently that was by design too. The designers of this ROM hack were like, we don't want people to have a better, like a 3rd level sword. And so you just don't get it. The 2nd level sword and 3rd level sword are about equal. I kind of hate that. It seems dumb. There's a heart piece here. You can do this if you want to see it. But, yeah. It's just like, I don't get, like, if they're gonna do that, I don't get why they even left it in at all. Just to like troll you, I guess, just to like frustrate you. They're like, oh yeah, you have the level 3 sword, it's not any better than the level 2 sword. It's like, then why did you give it to me? Why bother? Why bother to have a level 3 sword if it's not any better? What's the point? I mean, again, it is better for like a very small subset of enemies. But most enemies are not impacted by it, including bosses. Bosses are not impacted by the improved sword. The quote-unquote improved sword. So, kind of stinky, kind of poopy. But we've got it now, so that's something. Oh, hello. You're not helpful for me. Goodbye, sir. I will leave you now. Left, left. Bro, pew pew bullet. Okay. Oh, alright. What lurks within? Oh, okay, we're back here. Got it. Oh, when did that laser show up? There's an eyeball laser down there. I never noticed him before. Tile room. Of course it's a tile room. Why would you think otherwise? It's a room where there can be tiles, and so there are tiles. Yeah, this, too useful. It is absolutely too useful to give up just for the Quake Medallion. No. I will not turn against the magic powder for your sake, because once you give it up, you pretty much can't get it back. You can, kind of, in the sense that eventually you can get a second mushroom, but that second mushroom, if you throw that in the fairy fountain thing, it will give you bombos. So if you really want the MP regeneration buff, you have to give up both of them. So it really does come down to, do you want magic powder or do you want an MP regeneration buff? And for me, I want magic powder. Just for the fairies, really. That's pretty much the only reason I want it. But that alone is worth so much in this game. So much. It's so beneficial to just be able to get fairies, you know? Come here, fairy. Fairy. Be able to get fairies. What was I just saying? Come here, fairy. Come back. Oh. It's so beneficial to get fairies, assuming they don't fly away from you. Oh, jeez. He's really kicking that dude around. Nope. Whatever, dude. You live this day. And we have now returned to Impa's ways. Ugh. More... more puzzle dungeon. Welcome back to the puzzle dungeon. I hope you enjoy puzzles. 'Cause that's what we've got in the puzzle dungeon. That's pretty much it. That and one fight with a moldworm. Here's a question for you. When you play a game like this, where there's like a puzzle like this, do you retain it after you finish the game? Like, again, I played through this game relatively recently, and so this dungeon is, or at least the way to get to the boss, is pretty fresh on my mind. I'm curious if other people are like that too. Like, once you've gone through some sort of like struggle in a video game, does it stick with you? Not every game does that to me, but there's certainly some. Also, I love how I'm saying, like, I memorized this dungeon. I messed up multiple times now. I kind of remember it, okay? I kind of remember it. I have the bones of the dungeon in my mind. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, this is right. Okay, yeah, this is right. Another thing that I've noticed about this particular ROM hack is that the designers were big fans of these sort of like one block wide pathways, what I think of as balance beam pathways. There's a fair number of those in this game. Money! Okay. Is this the one where you go here again? Hang on, what is this room? Uh-oh. Again, I know I was just saying that I remembered this dungeon very well, but I'm getting a little lost now. I think it's up here. Oh, fudge. Is it up here? Nuts. I thought I remembered it very well, and now I'm getting a little lost. Did I go backwards? I think I'm backwards. Maybe? Where am I now? Ugh. Oh, I found the big chest. Hooray. Found the big chest. Yeah, I did it. I doed it. What's this way? La da 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 da. What happens if I go back in here? Yeah, okay, back in the beginning. Ah, nuts. Alright, well. Dragon. Continue to struggle with Impa's ways. This would not be a very successful app if this is how it worked. Imagine that you start up like Waze on your phone, like the navigation app, and it just kind of like tells you generally like if you go this direction, eventually you should get to where you're going, but you have to take several paths to get there. It's like, thanks, Impa's Ways. So useful. What a helpful thing. It's like, you'll get there eventually. Thanks. Love it. 5 stars. Back in we go. Ugh, it's so frustrating because we already found where we're supposed to be going, but I just forgot at this point. I think this is back at the beginning. La-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo. Back at the beginning. Yep. Yep. Boo. Oh no, this is right. Oh cool, okay, that's right. Yay! I accidentally found the right way. Thanks to what I was talking about earlier about how I've memorized the dungeon, right? It's not because it was an accident. It was because I memorized the dungeon. Yeah, there you go. Hello, Moldorm. Cane of burn. Yeah, what? Oh my gosh, no. I got like stuck on spikes. Invincibly stuck on spikes, admittedly, but I was still stuck on spikes. How annoying. Alright, hello Moldorm. Hello, Moldorm. Oh hey, the music switched back to the Light World dungeon theme again. Okay, yeah, he's fast now. So now I just have to wait. It's so frustrating. Just the knowledge that I have to wait for it to finish is what's so annoying. I'm just gonna let my MP regenerate. Alright, I tell you what. Everybody go get drinks or snacks or whatever. I'm gonna put us on intermission while my MP comes back. I'm kind of tired of waiting. We got halfway. I'll be good. So again, if I have not extolled its virtues enough, this fight alone should convince you. You need the Cane of Burna. Is doggone it. Oh, it's so annoying. Cane of Burna, you need it. It just helps so much. You just turn it on and you're saved from all of the hassles of all of these many obnoxious traps which are designed to just drain your resources, you know? It's like, and the game gives it to you. You know, it's not a cheat. It's just proper use of an item that is available in the game if you bother to get it. Alright, now we just gotta wait. Uh-oh, uh-oh, come on. No! Oh, that's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Oh, and I used up my stupid Cane of Burna now. It's like they're punishing me for using the Cane of Burna. That's what they're doing. It's like, oh, you want to cheat, do you? It's not cheating. It's clever use of tools. Not cheating. Clever usage of tools. Unfortunately, it also requires MP. There are tiles. You might have noticed, I'm sure, that all of the things in this particular fight are designed to bump you off of things.
So annoying. So hateful.
If I could get in that scenario again where the mold arm is like trapped on the outer rim, exactly like this, I could manage the fight better. So now, I have a fairy. All I have to do is wait for the stupid tile puzzle to finish. I have a fairy, unfortunately. Just one. Again, like, I'm not actually someone who hates the tile puzzle concept. I just hate its excessive implementation in this game. Like, they didn't need to have so many tile puzzles in this game. What the heck? I fell. Four Swords Adventures is better. Most games are better. Most games are better than this one. Also, welcome. Here's get this. I'm gonna start over. Sucks. Okay. Do it again. I don't want to be here. It's just, I don't want to be here. Actually, do I want to be? No, I don't want to be there. I want to go and get myself potions again. It's just so frustrating that, like, search through on Google and one of the results is a 6-hour straight playthrough. Wow. You mean for this game, right? Yeah, I mean that's accurate. It's well, let me back up. Pokey, have you ever played this game? Have you ever played Parallel Worlds? It's I have very divided opinion on it. In some ways, I like it. Namely, I like the overworld. I think the overworld is great. Overworld in this game, absolutely fantastic. Dungeons, terrible. The dungeons are terrible. Well, okay, that's also the hell's Parallel Worlds is this game. It's a ROM hack. It's actually a very famous ROM hack, which is based on Link to the Past, and it does like a complete overhaul of the game, which is cool. You know, it's pretty extensive. And the overworld is really, really good. But unfortunately, the designer of the dungeons relied a little too heavily on just a few concepts that weren't great. Have I ever played Minecraft Story Mode? I have not. That's the Telltale Games one, right? I've never played it before. Is it good? I don't know anything about it. All I know is that it's like, you know, one of the things that turns me off of that game, because I've seen like screenshots of it and stuff, is honestly the visual style, which is accurate to Minecraft. I've never really felt like the art in Minecraft looks good, you know? Like, I accept the way the art in Minecraft looks, you know, the blockiness and such, but I never really thought it looked good, per se. It was more, oh yeah, that's just what Minecraft looks like, you know? And so the fact that, like, you know, in order to fit into that world, the Telltale Games ones use that same, like, people are blocky and stuff look, kind of turns me off of it, honestly. I'm just sort of like, oh, it looks hideous. It looks terrible. The story mode art is more realistic with better lighting effects. That's something. I mean, that's some improvement. It's still blocky dudes, though. I don't know. It's just not for me. I mean, you know, art styles can be divisive in games. Hello, sir. Tell my fortune, by which I mean heal me completely, because that's what you're good for. Hey, what's up? This hack has many references to other Zelda games, and more. Cool, thanks. Good thing my goofy computer can run it at 70 FPS. Well, I mean, at least it can run it, you know? I've struggled through worse. I'm currently playing, I've talked about this before, but I have a translated NTSC-J version of, Front Mission 2 for the PlayStation that I have to play on a modified PAL PlayStation that doesn't have a red input channel. And most of the game is still in Japanese. So there are times when we struggle. There are times when we struggle to play games. But if it matters enough to you, you do it. You play that game. That's what I say. But no, I haven't. Was there a reason you asked? Are you currently playing Minecraft story mode and you're just thinking about it or something? Death. Top 10 translations. I mean, you know what? The truth be told, there's some really fantastic translations out there, like fan translations. But for whatever reason, with the Front Mission 2 one, and like I remember the translators had kind of a defensive tone about it. Like they're like, yeah, we translated some of it. What? Thank us for it. You know? Episode 8 right now, and you're pre-fun. It's cool. But yeah, like what they did was they translated all of the in-event dialogue and left the like the outside of event dialogue untranslated, but they included a text file that has the full translation. So they didn't actually encode it into the game. So as long as you have like the text file, you can figure out what's going on. It's a mess. I kind of wish they had done the whole thing, but you know, I don't know what it's like to translate a game. Awesome. Very helpful. Okay, I need more money. Yeah, keep doing it. Scam? Well, I didn't pay anything for it. I mean, I paid for the reproduction cart, but the original translation didn't pay anything. Actually, what's especially funny about my endeavors to play Front Mission 2 is that I found out that in 2023 they're planning to translate it anyway. They're gonna re-release it for Switch. So why did I bother? I don't know. More money, please. Thank you. I love this song. Back when I was in graduate school for computer science, we had a project where we had to make like a simple game that you could play in HTML, and doggone it, it's annoying. A friend of mine who, frankly, already knew he was like well past what you needed to be for that class. He decided to give his game background music, and he used this song, which is fun. So. Bloop. I kind of missed the little octopus guys they had before. I don't know why they made these into Tingle heads. I guess the designer didn't like Tingle, maybe? Bam. Ah, nuts, whatever. Minecraft, let's say what you said. Minecraft story mode, season 1 minimum requirements of 512 kilobytes of RAM or megabytes. Season 2 needs 3 gigabytes of RAM. Well, I guess things got more exciting in season 2. I guess season 2 has more content? I don't really know. I can't tell. Oh wait, I need to go that way. Hang on. Go back. Back. Oh no, never mind. I don't need to be here. Oh, I have to go around. That's annoying. So, what is Minecraft story mode like? Like, what do you do in it? Is it just like... Because I know that Telltale games, like when I think of Telltale games, I think of stuff like those kind of like modern choose-your-own-adventure games, like Until Dawn or like Heavy Rain and stuff, where it's just like mostly a movie that you make choices at sometimes. Is that what that game is like, or is it more in-depth than that? Like, what is Minecraft story mode like? I don't really know, and I'm curious. You basically watch cutscenes, and you occasionally do a quick time. Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for that. It's I mean that's fun. That can be fun. I can see that being fun. Did Telltale games go out of business? I feel like I remember hearing that Telltale went out of business. Which is a bit of a shame, because I mean, again, they made a lot of that type of game, but it's basically like modern visual novels, effectively. Oh, I used to think I would like visual novels, and then I played a couple and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. They're kind of like, a lot of them are really depressing. They have like really negative or dark storylines. I guess that's because that's more dramatic or something, but I just wanted like fun stories. I was kind of disappointed when they definitely did go out of business. Okay, well, makes sense. I mean, that's not the kind of game that's going to get you a lot of revenue. That's a pretty niche concept for a game. Actually, Minecraft Story Mode was probably one of their bigger projects, I imagine. Now I was gonna make Minecraft Story Mode Season 3 with no Telltale. Got canned. That sucks. Nothing quite as frustrating as like a story-driven series that never gets finished, right? I've never heard of the Batman. I've heard of the Walking Dead ones. I don't know the Batman ones, though. Alright, I need this. Yes. Uh-huh. More, please. Thank you. Alright. At least it's on mobile. Wait, so there's a season 3 on mobile? Is that what you're saying? Or there's... Sorry, I don't know what you mean by at least it's on mobile. Also, unrelated, I hate that mindset. Like, I'm not... No criticism to you. If you like mobile games, that's great. You like what you like. But there have been so many games that I wanted to play. Like, I would watch, like, a trailer or something, like, oh my god, this game, it looks so cool! And then at the end, it's, like, dropping on iOS. And I'm like, no! Come on! It's on mobile Netflix? What? I really don't get it. Sorry, I don't understand what you're getting at. Do you mean that it's on, like, Telltale Games is, like, on Netflix? Is that a thing? Are there games on Netflix? Or is it just, like, the video, I guess? I'm sorry, I'm not being very helpful right now. I apologize. I'm just trying to get back to this stupid dungeon and finish it. I apologize. You typed mobile instead of Netflix. You can play Minecraft Story Mode on Netflix. That's bizarre. But thank you for clarifying. How weird. But yeah, man, it's like, it happens a lot with Square Enix nowadays, I find. Like, I'll see one of their trailers or something, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, this game looks so cool, and then at the end it'll just be like, on iPhone, and I'm like, no, come on, man. Netflix has some shows and games where you can change the outcome. Huh. That's kind of a neat idea. I didn't know that. Have you ever played or seen like the Dark Pictures games, like Man of Medan? I watched 2 playthroughs of that, and it was pretty cool. It's interesting though, because it's like I like choose your own adventure style games, but I'm not great at like Oh, okay, well, I'll briefly explain. It's basically that same idea. It's like a choose your own adventure. You start off with like a certain number of characters, and throughout the game, like they get into some kind of scenario, and then you have to like through choices and quick time events, you kind of like try to guide them through the scenario. The one that I've seen is Man of Medan, which is apparently actually based on a real thing, which I think is kind of interesting. There was like a ghost ship or something called the something of Medan. I can't remember what it was. That disappeared in like the South Pacific, and this video game is about sort of like why it disappeared, and why it disappeared was because like there was some sort of I guess I'm spoiling things, so spoilers if you're interested in Man of Medan, but there's like a nerve gas or something on board that was making everyone hallucinate, and it caused everyone on board the ship to hallucinate their darkest fears, and they just wound up killing each other, and the ship just kind of went silent, which is pretty cool idea for a game. But you know, it's one of those games where like if you mess something up, you really mess it up. Like stuff goes bad quick. Oh yeah, it is pretty cool. Again, if you like that kind of like story-driven, like choice-based game, I'd say check it out. If you want to watch a playthrough of it, if you go to the Game Grumps, they did a playthrough of Man of Medan some years back. I think it was like a Ghoul Grumps. So that'll give you an idea of like what one playthrough could be like if you just want to like see what it is. Am I going the right way? I don't know if I'm going the right way or not. Fudge. Am I supposed to go here? I think maybe. Is this right? Please be right. Okay, good. So we're done with it. To watch gameplay, and yep, Minecraft Story Mode on Netflix is literally just a vanilla game, but it's on Netflix. Oh, it's different. The subtitles and the UI for choices. Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of a lot of games nowadays, is they want to make things as cross-platform as possible, so they will reach as many people as possible. You know, that's why so many, like take Genshin Impact. Like, you can play Genshin Impact on your phone. I don't know why you'd ever do that, but you can. And apparently it's very successful for some people. Like, again, I don't know why you'd ever want to play such a graphically intense game on your phone, but you can. You know, you can do that if you want to. I don't, but you can. I don't know, it's just, it's so strange to me. All right, hang on. Yep, stop. Drink liquid. Yep. Back to Canterbury. Also, I should mention that the first time I did this, I did not know to use the cane of Verna. So I've done it legit. Or rather, I've done it without using, cleverly using tools. I still say that this is a legit way to do this. It's just, it seems cheap. Also, I notice every time I'm hitting this guy, he's making the noise it makes when you scroll through text in this game. Stop, pew pew bullets. Stop. I beat the boss. Stop. Jeez. Ugh. Alright, one dungeon down. Hooray. And I just spilled Coke all over myself. That's great. That's great. Okay. I think this is Zelda, right? This is Zelda's very depressing last words. I made this recording as a backup in case I never return from the parallel tower. To be extraordinary means to attract attention. This is exactly what the Triforce did. If anything's to be blamed for the war, it might as well be the Triforce. I mean, screw the Triforce, right? Forget the Master Sword, the Triforce is not important, Zelda's dead. Ironically, it's the only thing that can save our world now. Once we enter the tower, I'm expecting treachery, lies, cover-up excuses, anything. This is Zelda, by the way. She's super pessimistic in this game. One girl wants to bring along a warlock. Another one wants to use power against monsters. It's not that I don't trust my fellow travelers. It's just the way it is. Humans make mistakes. Humans by nature are greedy, selfish, and power-hungry. It's a weakness. It's something we can't change. But I guess we're trying. Tomorrow we leave for the parallel tower. I think we're gonna fail. Despite my grim outlook, I can't rule out the chance that we might run into a hero, or we'll all die. My name's Zelda, and I have the 6th clue. It's like super depressing. I don't know why Zelda is so negative in this game. No, I'm done, Zed. I'm done, Zed. We're done. Yeah, bye. Thanks for your super depressing message. Alright, that's one dungeon down. So next we need to go to... Oh, that's perfect. We actually need to go to Darunia's castle next, I think. I think that'd be the best for next. So we will have to take the Waze again. Hooray! Everyone's favorite. Impa's Waze. I fell in a hole. Ah! Ah! Basically, only has episode 1 on the disc, but the pass allows you to download the episodes for free when they go. That's so weird. That's weird. Like, that's one of those things. I remember when that concept first started coming around, this idea of like episodic game releases. And for an old chicken like myself, who, you know, thinks everything should be physical or whatever, it feels awfully strange to have like these like digital only, there's no physical copy concept games. I mean, I guess it's just the nature of the future, and it saves the world a lot of plastic, which is good, but I like having physical things, you know? That's actually why I don't use much Steam. To each their own. If you like digital downloads, good for you. But for me, I like to have the thing. That's why we're playing this on an actual cartridge rather than... If you feel like you don't own digital games, try streamed games. I feel like I'm at a demo kiosk when playing these things. What's a streamed game? I'm not going the right way. This isn't right. Oh, that was right. I am in the right place. Never mind. Okay, so we are about to go to what I think is the coolest dungeon in the game. It's Darunia's Cavern. Darunia's Cavern is a full-on Zelda 1 style dungeon. They even intentionally made their own version of the Zelda 1 dungeon theme for this one dungeon. And it's so cool. I love Darunia's Cavern. Is easily my favorite. Easily my favorite. Ow. Thanks for the laser. It's just such a cool idea. I really love this one dungeon. Like this, when I first played this game and I went to this dungeon, I was like, okay, well maybe this game has something cool going on. So now we're in like Zelda 1 dungeons. Ah, it's so neat. Oh, I love it. All right, we're gonna explore now. Yay! This guy's important. He has the, I think he has the big key, maybe? Something like that? Yeah, there we go. Big key! Ah, it's so cool. It's a Zelda 1 dungeon, hooray! Hang on, you said something, what's this? Stuff like Stadia allows you to play a game, but using their computers super far away, they're very powerful. Huh, so it's like playing Minecraft on like a server, I guess? That's interesting. Let's see. Anything secret here? No? No? Okay. Let's keep exploring. Dronius, and like all of the room layouts, or most of the room layouts, are references to Zelda 1 rooms. Like this is where you would have fought Aquamentus in Zelda 1. It's so cool. Oh hey, bye. All right. They're just like, oh no, it's Narp, run away. Hey guys, what are y'all doing in here? What are we doing in here? What are we doing? Bam, 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 bam. Why is this stronger? It's so weird. Why is this stronger than using the sword? Why is it more effective to use the boomerang against these guys than the sword? Oh wait, actually, no, I've got the bow now. Never mind. Bow. Nope. Bow. Ugh, frickin' pew pew bullets. Stop it. Oh, I hate pew pew bullets in this game. There's so many of them. So much shoots at you in this game. What happened? What even happened there? Yeah, death. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die so bad. Oh, I'm out of arrows now. Come on. He shot like 4 times at me right there. I mean, admittedly, this is accurate to the experience of Zelda 1 when they would have those rooms with the fireball shooters in the middle. That's a thing in Zelda 1. You know, that's fair. It's still annoying, but it is fair. Get it. Treasure, yes, but I have to wait till pew pews are finished. Okay, cool, got the big chest key. Oh no, more of this. Oh, they're not shooting at me, good. Okay. No? Okay. Oh wait, what's this say? Stadia shut down because it's trash. It was created by Google and was meant to as a way to instantly play the latest games anywhere at any time, but flopped because of bad decisions due to servers. Simply better stuff like NVIDIA GeForce now. Huh. I'm not much of a PC gamer, so that doesn't mean much to me. Oh, a heart container! Stadia is technically free, but you still have to pay for the game separately. You can only play them on Stadia. GeForce is now allowing you to. Oh, cool. Oh, hey boys. How y'all doing? We're back at this, huh? More pew-pews, huh? It's just so strange to me that the boomerang works against these guys. It's the boomerang. Like, I only ever thought of it as a defensive tool. Actually, I wonder... Does this hurt? Oh, this does hurt you guys. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this for a little bit, then. Let's do a little bit of this. Let's slow down the game as much as possible. There we go. Yeah! Again, the Cane of Burna is what you want if you're going to play this game. Get the Cane of Burna. It's so useful in this game. Cane of Burna is so powerful. Cane of Burna OP. I'm gonna switch back to my boomerang now. Nope, that's not my boomerang. That's my boomerang. Is that one fireball just stuck? I think that one fireball is just like stuck in space. Okay, cool. Yeah, that fireball was just stuck in space. Weird. Okay, so something useful is written here. It's the pond recipes. Oh, okay, so this is what I was talking about. There was that one guy, the bug guy that we met earlier. He told us that this was here. Oh, what the heck? What? Oh. Oh, my audio started playing for some reason. Very strange. So homeworld only. You can throw in a mushroom, magic powder, a smithy forged sword, ether medallion, or any field potion. Ether medallion. What does that do for you? That might be half magic. Okay, cool. Very helpful. I love that it's playing the Zelda 1 music. So cool. What's it? Allows you to play your Steam or Epic Games library on whatever their service from anywhere, even on your phone. Huh? Yeah. That's a power move by GeForce. They're just sort of like, oh, what's that, Google? You wanted to get into the games business? Here, we're going to completely destroy your market share. Bye, guys. See you later. I just love how they leave. They just immediately leave the room. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that hurt so bad. Ah, well. Fudge. Dead. Alright, save and continue. I'm gonna come back. Alright, what'd you say there? Also, just noticed that the Netflix game only has decision making. You can't move around, and you can only choose between 2 of Jesse, the main character's appearances, instead of 12 in the original. Yeah, I mean, I'm not terribly surprised it's a bit watered down. That makes sense. I mean, you're playing a video game using a television remote. You know, it's probably not going to be the same experience, frankly. Alright, yeah, I just want to get out of here. Just let me out. Let me go. Ah, cool. Okay, that's where I want to be. Great! Alright, so let me go back and throw in the ether medallion. Because the more I think about it, the more I think that probably is the half magic. That would be useful. I want that. So let me go get that. Let me go get that. And then we shall go back to Darunia's Cavern, aka the Zelda 1 dungeon, which is so cool. It's just like, that to me is the most interesting dungeon in the game, you know? And it's because it's the concept is interesting, you know? It's like they made an extensive dungeon based on the original Legend of Zelda. That's a pretty cool idea. And it's also not filled with nonsense. You know, it's just a straightforward, like, fun dungeon to play. I love that. I wish more of the dungeons in this game were like that, but they're not. It's a real shame. And again, you know, you have the remodeled version of this game, which is frankly pretty easy. You know, I've been playing that kind of on the side. It's easy. You know, I got through it without a whole lot of trouble, but it's fun too. Like, it allows you just kind of just play the game in a fun way. So I saw you said something else. I'll check in a sec. I gotta make progress. A freaking bird. Every time I jump down for that ledge, I get hit by the same bird, and I hate it. I need to go to Ruto's place to get the better, like, the blue mail. That would be useful. Stupid birds. So obnoxious. Alright, let's see what you said. It's basically just the cutscenes from the game, and they switch based on what you choose. Would be too much to make a trillion different renders of the same scenes with slightly different codes or something. No quick time events. You can't have Telltale games without quick time events. Frickin' scam. So, have you played, like, other... I'm sorry, and you may have said this earlier, Pokey, so I apologize if I forgot. Have you played other Telltale games, or is your experience primarily off of the Minecraft story mode one? So I have not played any of them, so I don't know anything about them. I wonder if I can make like 20 bucks or make like 40 bucks just digging. Let's just dig around a little bit and see if I can make some money. Managed to get the title screen of The Walking Dead before your computer just committed death. Well, yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason that I've never been much of a computer gamer, is that, like, there's just no guarantees, you know? Like, every game's requirements are different, and, like, with a console, you might be getting a weaker outcome, but if you buy the game, it can pretty much play the game. You know, the last time we had a situation where some of the games just wouldn't work was like the PlayStation Pro, I think, or the PS4 Pro, which I personally didn't like. You know, I thought that was a terrible decision, because the whole advantage of consoles is just, you know, you just plug and play and it works. You don't have to have, like, tweak it and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can make the argument, it's like, well, all you have to do is just read specs and follow those specs, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. I just want to play a game. Don't make me do homework. I say as I was talking about this really complicated setup I have to play this one game from Bulgaria. Eh. Again, to each their own. PC gamers be dropping 6K on a whole ass setup just to play Terraria. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, and you know, you do that just to play Terraria, and then like the next game that comes out, your computer's not good enough for. You know, it's like, oh well, now Terraria 2.0, can't play it. You know, it's the same frustration I have with endless cell phone upgrades. You know, I'm like, I don't, all I use my cell phone for is like taking calls and getting text messages. I don't need to upgrade every 2 months. I'm okay. Eh. What can I say? I'm just an old chicken. An old chicken who's set in his ways. I'll just get red potion. That'll be good enough. Hey man, get some of this. Yay! Thank you. Currently consuming beef jerky. I feel like I go through periods where I really like beef jerky, and then other periods where I'm like, I don't want beef jerky. It's very divisive in my mind. I only like it sometimes. But when I like it, I like it a lot. So you saw a TikTok of a 5-year-old in the whole setup with a 380 Ti on it, and she's just playing Roblox on it. Yeah. Yeah. Again, whatever you like, man. I like knowing it's gonna work. You know, I like plugging in the thing and knowing it's gonna work. But that's me. I also don't tweak my car, so. Alright, so she gives you ether back. And now I have I have a quarter magic. Oh, that's awesome. Very helpful. Also, the mining trends of 2020s did not help GPU prices. Yeah, a friend of mine was telling me that there was some new series GPU that came out recently that is creating the same sort of like madness. 4000 series or something. It's some new hype that like is making people go crazy for it. So. Wink. So in other news, this is the Rauru dungeon. Oh, that's stupid. That is such a cheap blow. Did you see what happened there? I got shot by a fireball during the cutscene when I couldn't move, and then I took damage for it after the cutscene ended. That is bullshit. Screw the 4000 series. Is that the new one? Is it just unreasonably expensive or hard to find? I remember, like I found out about it because that same friend was, like, he was checking at various micro centers. He's like, hey, can you check at your micro center to see if they have any of the 4000 series available? The RTX 4090 is 0.0000001% more efficient than the 3090. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I thought it was a big deal, but good to know. Again, I'll stick with my, 30-year-old technology. As long as it can play Super Nintendo games, that's all I need. So says this old chicken. No, come back. Eh. Eh. I'm trying to remember where you normally get the boomerang in the Dark World. Or in the Ice World, rather. Like if you didn't get it from the beginning of the game. I can't remember where you're supposed to get it in this version. In 2020, something like the GTX 980 would cost over $1,000. Yeah. Very expensive. But again, it's also kind of like a luxury market, right? It's like souping up your car. You don't need like nitros. You don't need huge subwoofers. You don't need all that stuff. You're doing it because you love it. So I mean, yeah, they're taking advantage of you, but you are paying for like a luxury. I get that. It's just like when I initially got my Switch, I pretty much only got it because other people I knew had it. I was like, I want to get a Switch because other people have a Switch. It's like there wasn't even any. The only game I wanted to play was Breath of the Wild. So. Intel made a GPU. I pray it will shut AMD and Nvidia up. Good luck. Alright, let's go back to the cool dungeon. Hello, boys. I see you're looking for me. Hopefully you won't spot me. Oh, okay, no, I don't have to wait through it. We can just do this. And then we can just run in here. See you later. Hello, boys. Okay, let's explore. Whoa. Bet I can push something here. And push. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So cool. I love that they made this dungeon. Again, like, I have a lot of complaints about this game. This dungeon is not one of them. This is such a cool idea for a dungeon. Zelda 1 dungeon. How can you go wrong? And they even have, like, Zelda 1 music. Ah, such a cool idea. If only the rest of the game was so cool. If only the other dungeons could take after this one. Eh. Now, screw you two. Oh, ow. Die. Okay, cool. Push. There we go. Can I move the middle? There we go. Ooh. Whiz robes. Well, I have a bit of a checkered past with whiz robes in Zelda 1, but fortunately, this is Zelda 3. Straight here. Gaggle. Ow! Screw you too. Pushing? Big push. 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 Aha! There we go. Let's see. 3080 right now is $700, and that's like the best of the best. Intel's best, which is arguably. Am I taking damage from something? Intel's best, arguably the same or even better. It starts at 289. Whoa! That's a lot better. It's a whole heck of a lot better number, that. Not tiles. I bet you have to wait. I bet you it's a waiting one. Oh wait, that's right, you can just do this. I found this out before. We'll just hang out here. La-di-da. Take that, over-reliance on tile puzzles. Ha ha ha! I scoff at your efforts. Ow! It's like, oh, you scoff at us, do you? The last tile hit me. Aha! Pushing. Aha! Okay, well, that's fine. The other thing that's nice about this particular dungeon, I don't think that there are very many places where you have to, like, go through a wall. I think it's primarily a, what do you call it? I think it's all just doors and bombable walls. That's pretty cool. Again, it almost feels like a different person made this one particular dungeon, just because it's so much more, like, appealing and better put together. That's where it just came from. Oh, hi guys. What are y'all doing in here? Frickin' penguins, what are you doing in here? Bam. Oh, hey. Hello. Bomb you too. What's over here? Oh, spikes. Oh. Oh, I think I know what's gonna happen in here. Oh no, I was wrong. Never mind. I thought there were gonna be tiles. Ooh. I think your ultimate goal is in the upper left, if I remember correctly. So we're trying to get to the upper left if we can. Unfortunately, we don't have a map. They took that out of the game. Even Zelda 1 had a map. They're like, no, we're gonna use this, we're gonna underutilize this super cool ability we invented. Oh, still pushing over? Yeah. A little weird. Ow, ow, stop. Ah, what the heck? Ow, ah! Ow. Thank you, fairy. Bunch of freaking lasers. Ah, it's just so cool. I love that they made this dungeon. What a neat idea. Okay. We can go back that way. Oh! What? What? What is this? Yes? Alright. That was weird. That was like the room where Zelda is in Ganon's castle in Zelda 1. That was weird. Oh, I'm back at the beginning. Alright. Get out of it, you. Do I have to kill these guys? Bloop. Stop. Ooh, fairies. Awesome. See, again, like, I need this magic powder. I need the ability to get fairies in dungeons. It's just too helpful. I'm not willing to give that up. That absolutely saved my bacon in my first playthrough of this. Yay! Oh jeez, this again. Huh? I bet you tiles are involved here. They are surprisingly not. Okay, cool. I almost didn't notice the laser on the wall, though. There is a laser on the wall. Oh, jeez. It's shooting at me. Ugh. Ah, there's two of them. Oh, man. Ugh. Like that. Push. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's a Gleeok room. Awesome. Oh, and it's a tile room, too. Just gonna hang out for a sec. Oh, never mind. Push room. I'm gonna check up here first. Again, getting back to like extolling the virtues of this dungeon, they don't really make you wait for the tile puzzles that much in this place. So good. Bleep. Bleep. Oof. Big oof. Push. Ooh, treasure. Yay. I want that. Ah, it's an ancient tablet. Okay, cool. Whatever. That's fine. Push. Do 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 do. Oh no! So stupid. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You just have to take damage or use the Cane of Burn in that room. Those are your choices. Ugh. Dumb. Let's go south from there. Ow. Ooh, fairy. Yay. Yes, please. Fairy, come back. Fairy? Fairy. I need you to join my party. Come hang out with me. Ow! Ooh. Laser to the back of the head. Not comfortable. Cool. Yeah. This room again. Oh, okay, this is new. We haven't been here before. Let's see where it goes. Oh, wait, this is the end of the... Well. Good thing I got that fairy, right? Didn't even see that laser. Yeah, I need a key for this room. Nuts! Alright, go back. Is there a fairy in here every time I come in here? Because if so, I'm going to stock up on fairies. Alright, let's leave. Come back. Yeah! Okay, let's stock up on some fairies. Using my magic powder. Magic powder. Well, I just ate that one. Try again. Let's try again. Herp. Yep. Okay, cool. Whoa. Oh, it's down there. We still have not found the dungeon treasure either. And I remember the dungeon treasure in this dungeon is very important. I think it's the Cane of Samaria, if I remember correctly. I do want that. Hello, gentlemen. You're strange. It's weird that you're here. Ice penguins in this decidedly not ice dungeon. I've been here before. That's the first room with the penguins. What is down here? Skulls. Deadly skulls. I think I can push, maybe. Ow. Goodness, I really need to get better armor. My armor is not holding up in the ice world. Taking so much damage from everything. Oy. Push. Okay. Push. Push. Push, push! Push, 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 push! It's a Guitaru Man reference, if you didn't know. It's what Puma the dog says when you're learning about guitaruing. Well, that's helpful, but... it's over here. Push. Oh. Nuts. I don't want to be here. There's lasers here. Okay. Nope. Oh, here again. Okay. Try over here. Alright, let's... Ow. Let's see what's up from here. Doo-doo. It's just cool, like, to be able to explore something which is so clearly, like, the experience of Zelda 1, but while playing A Link to the Past, like, format. It's really fun. I like it a lot. Aha! There we go. That's the key I need. I probably still need... Like, I know I need to get the big key, or the big treasures, so I'm not done here yet, but I can go and fight the boss now. So that's good. I just have to find the treasure now. Can I just say no? I don't want to. No. No. Ugh. Push. 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 Whoa. Push. Push. Aha! Haha, I figured it out. I solved the puzzle. Yes. So something that made this dungeon a lot easier the first time I did it was I had the fire rod. And most of the enemies in this dungeon can be dispatched pretty easily with the fire rod, so... Kinda wish I had that right now, but I don't. So, there. Ah! Don't shoot at me. Oh, there we go. Big treasure. Awesome. Ah. The Cane of Somaria! Hooray! So, I think that's everything except the, everything except the big key. I don't actually know if this dungeon has a big key, or if it just has the thing where you, have to have a key to... Lame. Mm-hmm. Yay! Get out of here. Ooh, nice. Do a little of this, a little of this. Very helpful. Mm-hmm. Push, 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 push. We don't have the same trick that I learned from Pro Jared in the original Zelda 1, where it's always the same block. You just have to know which one to push. Very helpful, that. Or maybe you just can't push blocks in this room. Okay. Never mind. Wait a sec. Is this the wrong way? Let's see. Is this the wrong way? I think this is the right way. I'm gonna go up from here. Yes. Okay, here we go. Alright, activate this. And forth we go! Whee! Whee! I have the key. Oh, I do need the big key. Oh, I have it. Never mind. Oh, I got it first. That's right. Yeah, but here's Vitreous. So what sucks about Vitreous is, remember when I mentioned earlier that, like, your third level sword isn't actually... Oh, he changed the entire palette of the room with that one laser bolt. Amazing! Amazing, Vitreous! When I mentioned earlier that your sword doesn't actually do more damage to most things, this is one example of that. All Vitreous eyeballs take as much damage, or as many hits as they would take with, I think, your level 2 sword, maybe even your level 1 sword. It sucks. It's so frustrating. And this is probably the easiest fight with him you'll see in the game. Like, they found a lot of nefarious, complicated ways to make you fight this one stupid monster in this game. Like, there's one where, like, you're in a room where you can be pushed off the side, and so you're constantly trying to, like, stay on a narrow platform while fighting his eyeballs. Sucks, dude. Ugh. Jay, you fight this guy, like, 4 or 5 times in this game, I think? He keeps coming back. I guess maybe he was an easier boss to deal with because he's like centrally positioned, like he stays in one place. Alright, come on, dude. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. You got it. Uh-huh. Yep. You got it. Oh, you know what you're talking about. Bink. 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 I wonder if he's weak to something else. I'll try and, like, shoot him with an arrow. Look at that. Like arrows? Hey, you don't like arrows. Dead. And now I wait for a crystal. Yay! Oh, that's 2 dungeons down! Hooray! So good. Oh, go. It's another dead person! Yay! I made this recording as a backup in case I never return from Parallel Tower. I made a deal with the devil, as my cohorts would put it. A magician known as Ganon wants to come along with us to the Parallel Tower. He said it was for the best, as 7 girls would need protection in the land of greed. Zelda said no, but I'm going to let him follow us anyway. He knows nothing of our clues. I just hope none of my fellow travelers discovers my mind of deception. My name is Tamini, and I have the 4th clue. Ignore the previous message. Of course, this doesn't mean to ignore my recording. It's in my recording. Play that message? No. Cool. So, that's how Ganon entered the picture. He duped this one poor girl into thinking that he was helping her. And guess what? He wasn't. It wasn't a good move on Tamini's behalf, but she didn't know better. He seemed like such a trustworthy pig man. I thought it would be fine. Live and learn, Tamini. I mean, just because frowning Zelda says no doesn't mean you have to listen to her words. Zelda's like, hey, Zelda, do you want some cake? And she frowns and she's like, no, I hate cake. Cake is bad for you. It's like, alright, Zell, if you say so. We shouldn't be eating cake. Cake will be the ruination of Hyrule. Ugh. That's how I feel about Zelda sometimes. It's just like, ugh, come on, Zelda. Come on, Zelda. Alright, so what do we have? We have the Cane of Samaria now. The Cane of Samaria is very useful because you need the Cane of Samaria to climb the Parallel Tower. So now we can do that, which is great. Very helpful. I'm going to see if I can beat 3 of the dungeons tonight. I'm going to try and beat Ruto's Fortress as well. At the very least, we'll get into Ruto's Fortress and kind of like look around. But I really want the blue mail. The blue mail in this game looks great, by the way. It looks really nice. It's a really pretty color blue. I sort of wish you could go back to it after you get the red mail, but you can't. Once you get the red mail, you're stuck with it, so. Here's a question for you. In Ocarina of Time, would you, like, once you got the better tunics, would you typically just wear one tunic and stick with it, or would you change your appearance over time? Because I know some people will only wear the tunics when they're relevant, and then other people will stick with one tunic because they like it the best. Like me, for example, I like the blue tunic the most, so I tend to wear the blue tunic the most. But I could definitely see, you know, swapping around a lot, or only switch it, like staying green most of the time. I could see that too. I don't know. Curiosity. What's down from here? The village? Oh, I'm in the cemetery. Never mind. I don't want to go there. Yabba-da-boos, yeah, zabba-da-boo. This weird munchy monster. what's in here. Okay. That's the down the well area from the first game. Or from the original. Alright. Into Ruto's Fortress. So Ruto's Fortress, as you might expect for being an ice fortress, is covered in ice. The whole theme of this dungeon is ice. Everything is icy. I hope you're excited about ice controls. That's what you got. This is also one of the more dungeon-esque dungeons, which is cool. Although now that I think about it, did they say I need the fire rod before I come here? I might not actually be able to do this dungeon yet, now that I think about it. We might have to leave. Oh, I cannot remember. I mean, it would follow that you would need... Oh, yeah, because you have to fight Cold Stare here. Okay, so we're not going to be able to finish the dungeon, but maybe we can at least explore for a bit and maybe find the blue mail. Ow. Whoa. Come here. Come here. There we go. Push that statue around. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Hello, little Helmasaur. Going to throw this at you and then you'll die. He's like, that's a very mean thing to say, or do after immediately greeting me so politely. Well, yes, I'm a very mean person, Helmasaur. Didn't you know that? I am Gnarp. I am from the other world. I don't care about your livelihood. Little Helmasaur. I'll see you dead, little Helmasaur. Muhahaha. Muhahaha. Said all that while I was moving a statue to a now long dead Helmasaur. This Helmasaur's like, he's already, or the statue's like, he's already dead. You monsters, he's already dead. That's a Simpsons quote, I think, right? The he's already dead thing. I think that's a Simpsons quote. Not really sure. I honestly regret that I did not watch The Simpsons very much growing up. I feel like I missed out on a lot as a result. Oh, treasure key. Very nice. I'll take that. Oh, do I have to do it again? Oh, that's stupid. I'm just gonna leave. Reset the room. Ugh. Ha 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 ha. It's strange to me that you can only fight Cold Stare with fire. Like, I find that kind of odd in... Well... I was gonna say I find it kind of odd in Zelda games when you can only fight a boss using a particular item, but that's actually pretty common after Ocarina of Time. Like, Ocarina of Time made that a pretty standard thing that, like, the boss of the dungeon is exceedingly weak to the treasure of their dungeon. Which, at once, seems both very silly and kind of sensible. You know, if you had only one thing that could hurt you, doesn't it make sense that you'd want to know exactly where that thing is at all times? I think that's kind of supposed to be the rationale as to why, like, the dungeon treasure defeats the dungeon boss, is that, like, the dungeon boss maintains control of this item that is their only weakness. I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's a video game, you know, and you're not supposed to think about it too much. But back in the early Zelda games, like, the dungeon treasures were largely like utilities. You know, they weren't all weapons. They were just, especially in Zelda 2, they were mostly just like utilities to get you through the dungeon. Or actually, in that game, it was frequently doing things unrelated to the dungeon. It was just like stuff outside the dungeon. I'm not really sure which model I like more. I mean, when you when you get a dungeon treasure, and you're like, oh, this thing works this way, and then like the whole dungeon is based around that one mechanic, and so you really get to like play with that one particular item, and you're like, ah, I know really well how the spinner works now, and then it's capped off with like this fight against a boss that is vulnerable to the spinner, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is how you'd use the spinner to fight. Awesome. You know, I mean, there's something to be said for that. On the other hand, it results in a lot of the boss fights in that game being like really, really gimmicky. So I guess it just depends on what you like. Oh, I wish I had the fire rod. Oh, this? Okay. Come here, you. This hack also makes extensive use of Gibdos. I think because they have such a high tolerance to being hit. You know, you hit them over and over again and they just keep going. That's why the fire rod is so useful, is that like you just use it and like they're done. It's awesome. Come on. Come on, activate. There we go. Do 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 do. What am I doing here? Do 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 do. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Shut up. Huh? Okay. Lantern. Oh wait, no, I remember that there are torches in this dungeon that don't mean anything. I remember reading that in that FAQ I read about this game. Blueberry! Yes! Oh, look how good I look! Oh, look how good I look! Yes! Yes! Oh, it's great. Awesome. Wonderful. Blue mail looks so good. What? No? Oh. Okay. Never mind then. Yeah. Torches are all red herrings for some reason. Don't know why, but that's how they made the game, so. All the torches in Ruto's Fortress are red herrings. Fire will not save you in the land of Ruto. She says to you, no! No fire in my dungeon. Ooh, treasure chest. I want that. I want this treasure chest. Give it to me. Ancient stone tablet. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if that's supposed to be a reference to the ancient stone tablets. The Legend of, like the Satellaview game. That's not supposed to be. I don't know. That'd be funny if it is. If you didn't know, there was a Satellaview game called The Legend of Zelda: The Ancient Stone Tablets, which I want to say I heard cannot actually be emulated. Something like that. It was surprising. There is a secret around here somewhere. Which one is it? But not well, that's not what I'm looking for. Somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. No? Home. Thought there was a secret here. There it is. I knew there was a secret here somewhere. Ow. Big key. Alright, so now we actually just have to leave because we don't have the fire rod. Oh. Crap, that's not gonna work. Okay, never mind. Without the fire rod, we can't actually finish this dungeon, so we're a bit stuck. I want that. I want that key. Hook shot. So now I really just have to leave, actually. How do we get out of here? Is there an exit to this room? I guess I'll go up there. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. So what's interesting is it took me a while to notice that both of those nope, never mind. You can just walk through this one. Okay. I was wrong. I was about to say something. I was like, it took me a long time to notice that such and such happened. No, it's just a false door. Just walk through. It's fake. It's a fake door. There you go. So one thing that's sort of interesting about this hack is you can kind of see which dungeons, like what dungeons were what originally. So I think that Ruto's Fortress was actually based off of the Skull Woods, because it has a lot of the same things happening, like the destroyed wall, and the fact that you fall into areas and stuff like that. This, yay. Pretty sure this is actually the way to the end of the dungeon. But again, without the ability to use the fire rod, we're kind of out of luck. Yeah, this is the end of the dungeon. All right, I gotta leave. Oh, so now I need the fire rod. But fortunately, I have blue mail, so hooray for that. Very helpful. The fire rod, if I remember correctly, is in Saria's temple, or Saria's temple, however you want to say it, which is in the forest. And you want to know where it is in the forest? You want to know where it is in the forest? It's in the Lost Woods. Yeah. Once again, if you don't know the piece of information that is not anywhere in the game, you cannot proceed forward. It's really stupid. I'm still so upset about that. And I'm sure I've conveyed that. But I'm still so very upset that the game insists on a piece of information, on you're knowing a piece of information that is not stored anywhere in the game. What nonsense. What nonsense. It would be perfectly fine if it was optional, you know? I mean, okay, let me walk that back a little bit. It wouldn't be perfectly fine. I'd still be upset about it, but it would be more reasonable if it was entirely optional. But it's not. It's mandatory to beat the game, and it's not stored anywhere in the game. Absolute nonsense. Euclid and Seth? For shame, gentlemen. You could have done better. You could have made a better game if you didn't include nonsense like that. Ugh. But what can I say? I didn't make the game. Flip. Nope. There we go. Bum ba bum bum. Bum bum ba bum bum. Dum bum ba bum bum. Away! Alright, we are now in the forest. The snowy forest. Beware of monsters. Hello, sir. Goodbye. Do those things have, like, orange hair, or do they have cool orange capes? I can't decide which would be cooler. If they have cool orange hair or cool orange capes. I guess both would be cool, actually. That bee! Get the hints! Thank you. Eh. Goodness. Oh, I want that. I think that monster just got stuck. I do find... Sorry about that, my voice cracked there a bit. I do find it a little strange that they use the Golden Land song in the Ice World, considering they used the same song in the ancient temple of the first world, which I think was a good use of it. But I don't know, somehow that seems strange to me. What's in here? All right. This room. Do you like it? Oh. Take that. Oh, the red boomerang. Okay. Cool. They're not mutually exclusive in this version. Nice. Did you know the dungeon with the red flashing floor connects to 4 different places? I did know that. Thank you. This was a very helpful cabin in the woods. Or stump in the woods. Hooray for this stump in the woods. That said, I do think that the only way the red boomerang and the blue boomerang are different from each other is in their speed and distance. I think that's the only thing that separates them. I don't think the red boomerang does more damage to Armos Knights, for example. So, but still cool to get. And I'm glad to hear that it's not mutually exclusive anymore, because that was stupid. Oh, well, it did just kill that skeleton in one shot. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, Lost Woods. Say it with me. Right, down, or right, up. No, right, down, up, right, down. That is the way through the Lost Woods. Up. Right, down, up, right, down. Not anywhere in the game. What nonsense. What a stupid thing. I still hate that. Ha! Get it. Welcome to the secret meadow. Don't tell anyone. Actually, do tell people how you got here, because that should be in the game. Ugh. So frustrating. There's really nothing else here other than the dungeon. Okay. Zabadaboo. In we go. Welcome to Saria's Gardens. Oh, I remember this dungeon now. Never mind. I couldn't remember which dungeon this was. This is the one that's based off of Thieves Town. Yes, with lots and lots of lasers. So many lasers in this one dungeon. Yes, I remember it now. I remember it fondly. Get out of it, you. Mostly I remember this. The fact that the pew-pew bullets still happen while you are lifting objects, so you take many a hit unless you use the Cane of Burna. Which I guess, honestly, the game does kind of set you up to know about, since getting here would suggest that you've gotten to the Cane of Burna. So. But no forgiveness. It's still stupid. Go. Lift. Go. Yeah, this place was a lot more annoying before I found out about that. Oh, I just noticed it's playing the Zelda. It's playing the first world, the Greed World song. Much better than the non-Greed World song. Hooray! That's awesome. There are also just bones everywhere. Saria, what you been doing in here? She's like, killing people? Teehee. There is that one really weird Kokiri girl who's like, everyone who goes into the forest will become a Stalfos. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe a lot of people turned into Stalfoses and they just stored it in Saria's gardens. Scarily. Oh. Alright. Never mind then. Never mind, see you later. I guess I shouldn't have flipped that switch earlier. Ow, don't shoot me. It's like, but that's all I can do. That's my natural defense. I shoot people. I can't do anything else. Like, I know, but it still hurts. Yay, treasure key. Awesome. Very helpful. Activate this. Makes things infinitely easier. Ow! I still got shot in the back of the head. Dang it. Ugh. So annoying. Okay. Never mind. I guess it was good that I lowered that, I hit that switch earlier. Ooh, money! Money! Yeah, 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 money! Get the rupees, get the rupees, get the money! Get the rupees, get the rupees, get the money! Get the rupees! Alright, well, anything else here? Let's see. No? 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 Tap, tap, tap. Okay, no. Aha! Yeah. Awesome. Oh, hello, gentlemen. They're like, it's us again. We're back. Oh, and I got, again, I keep forgetting I have the bow. The bow works way better on these guys. And the bow is what you're supposed to use on them, so. Oh, out of arrows. Okay. Back to this. I'm so glad to hear that they actually have made some changes and some improvements since the version of this game that I played. Like being able to get the boomerang, you know, in this way, and being able to deal with the halls of pain without having to hurt yourself. These are really solid improvements that I think, you know, make the game better. I just wish they would have fixed the thing with the Lost Woods, because that's still nonsense. I mean, just include it somewhere in the game. Somewhere in the game. I would love to find out. I would love to find out that either Euclid or Seth watched this playthrough and they actually responded to me. They're like, "You idiot. It's right here. We did include it in the game." That would make me happy. I'd love to hear that. If you guys are watching, let me know, because you would reestablish my faith in what you have created. Right now, as it stands, I can't be too impressed. At least not with that decision. Darunia's Cavern's cool. And Seth, you did a great job on the world map. Anyway. See you later. Bloop. Why did these things change color? They're yellow now. They weren't yellow before. They were blue before. Why did you change color? That's very strange. This one's blue again. Why are only some of them yellow? What's going on here? What is this dungeon? What is happening? I don't understand. Brr. Brr. Pew pew bullets. So annoying. Whack. Did it change when I left the room? Did y'all see that? It looked like the crystal changed shape when I left the room. Very odd. Throw. I want a peanut butter sandwich. I know that's kind of out of nowhere, but like I didn't really have, like, my dinner tonight was a salad, which is not terribly filling, and I sort of want, like, more food. I might make myself a peanut butter sandwich after I finish the stream. We'll see. I am actually still quite pleased at the speed with which we're getting through this game. Like, again, When I played this game before, it took forever. It was quite a brutal experience the first time. But you know, having played it before helps me kind of know where to go, and I don't feel quite as lost. That's nice. What's up here? Okay. Is this the way to the boss, or... I know I have to push statues here, right? I have to push the statue, huh? Alright, I thought I pushed the statue here. No? Oh, here we go, yeah. That... I tell you what, Cane of Burner really does make everything better in this game. It does make me wonder if the game designers intended for you to find it, because they, you know, they force you to find the secret meadow, because you have to do it to get the parallel tower key. So it's mandatory to find the secret meadow. And you get the Cane of Burner in the same room. I'm curious if they expected people to have it or not. Because if they expect you to have it, then a lot of these, you know, difficult struggles make a bit more sense. Oh, great. Hey, Tiles. How are you? I'm gonna go this way. What's over here? What's over here? A room full of dragon people. Hello, dragon people, you and your mohawks. Oh, key, nice. More? Okay. Now. Ooh, treasure. I want that. Yay, big key! Hooray! Awesome. Still looking for the dungeon treasure, though. I want the fire rod. I want the fire rod a lot. Look at them just sitting on top of tables. It's very silly. Oh, nuts! I can't do this. Ugh. Fine. See you later. Hey, how you doing? Bye. See you later. Ah, this song is so good. Really like this song a lot. One of my favorite Zelda songs. Oh. Oh, right. Okay, this is actually where I want to be. Bloop. Yes. And I keep going right. That brings me back to that room with the other Gibdos. But I don't want to go there right now. I want to go down. Yes. Yes. So this area requires you to use the Lens of Truth. This is their Lens of Truth area. And they tell you so right here. Feeling down because of cheap spikes you can't see? There's a way around that. But I'm not going to tell you. Try that chicken in town. What, you want to know how to talk to the chicken? Go look at the original game. So I guess in the original game there was a way to talk to chickens. I don't remember that, but I guess so. Kind of makes me want to go back and play Zelda, like Link to the Past, to see if I can figure out what they're talking about. I don't remember there being a chicken you could talk to in the first game, but I suppose maybe there is. But yeah, like, there's so many spikes you would miss if you couldn't use the Lens of Truth here. So, very helpful to use it. L and X. And again, I think it's great that they're using it. Like, I wish more of the dungeons in this game utilize that ability. It's really clever and interesting. It's just, you know, underutilized. Hi guys, what are y'all doing in here? Like, well, mostly dying, honestly. Aha. Nope, hang on. Boomerang! Ha! It's all coming back to you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Hello. Death. Do 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 do. Whatever. Just do this. Well, not what I was looking for, but I guess it's something. Really looking for the dungeon treasure. I want the fire rod.
It's very useful. It's important for my livelihood. I want it. I want the dungeon treasure. The dungeon treasure.
Alright, I can just do this. I forgot about that. Again, like, the fact that you can do things like that to, like, really circumvent a lot of the dangers makes me wonder if they intended for you to have it or not, you know? Because it's a question sort of like with, certain exploits in... If you've ever played Castlevania Harmony of Despair, you might know that if you use the character Soma, there's a lot of things that you can get past in ways that are sort of obviously not the way you're supposed to be doing it, so to speak. And some people say, well, of course the game designers intended for you to figure this out. They knew the problem was there. They just accepted it. But I wonder about that. Like, I feel like if I was a game designer and I found, like, a glaring exploit that would completely, you know, destroy the game, I would probably try to fix it, honestly. I'd be like, okay, well, that's not great. Let's fix that. But I guess some would say that, like, you know, it's a sign of respect, maybe, on behalf of the designers. Like, if, okay, you figured out our, you know, this one vulnerability in the game, so we'll let you use it. You know, we're not going to patch it out. We're just going to be like, okay, yeah, we'll embrace it. I mean, there's something to be said for that, I guess, but I still don't know if I buy it. But again, when I came through here the first time, I didn't know the wonder of the Cane of Burna. Because, like, when I was a kid, you get the Cane of Burna so late in the original Link to the Past that I didn't really use it that much. I had no idea that it was supposed to be like an invincibility cape or invincibility cane. I thought that it just kind of created like a shield effect. I didn't know it actually rendered you invulnerable at the same time. So I just, you know, I was like, okay, well, whatever. It's the Cane of Burna. Great. I won't be using this, you know? But it's super useful in this hack. Super useful. Totally comes recommended. Use the Cane of Burna. It's very helpful. Oh, hey, look who it is. Hello. Well, this is going to be the end of the dungeon, but I still don't have the fire rod. Hey, check it out. It's your favorite, sunlight. everyone's least favorite dungeon boss. I swear Blind has like the worst reputation out of the Link to the Past bosses, I feel like. Like I feel like everybody says, "Oh, Blind, that's the easy one." I don't know, I think it's kind of hard. I had to try and do this with just a hammer when I was playing that inverted randomizer. That was pretty hard. Dead though. I still won, but you know. Something's happening. There's a visual glitch going on. I don't know what that's all about. You see it? Y'all see that? Yeah. Like a little thing zipping around for some reason. Yay! It's another dead woman! Yay! This is my last will and testament. I made this recording as a backup in case I never return from the parallel tower. The plan is set. We are not to say anything about our clues, not even to each other. Once we enter the other world, we are to hide from all people, be they friend or foe. We'll find the parallel tower, silently creep into the top, and get the power user in return. If trouble arises, we shall commit Oh, that's grim. Commit suicide, thus the need for these recordings. I don't know what to expect. I'm scared as anyone would be. My name is Arisis, and I have the fifth clue. 3 present and 3 in each world. This ends my recording. She kind of started off, I was trying like for French, and she became German as it went along. Well, I have to go back in there because I didn't get the fire rod. I don't know where I missed it though. I'm trying to eat jerky. Stop. Stop, I just want jerky. No. I hunger. Uh-huh. What was this way? Oh, yeah. Alright, well where did I not go then? Normally this would be the point where I check my map, but I don't have one of those, unfortunately. Whoa. I also still have a key. I just noticed that. That's weird. Do-do-do. This song is so good. Do-do-do. Yeah, so when I came through here the first time, I had to like time when I picked up, like I would have to like wait for a fireball to happen, and then try and pick it up really quickly before the fireball happened again. It sucked, and I took a lot of damage, and it wasn't fun. So I'm glad I'm not doing that this time. Oh, it's right frickin' here. Doggone it. I just walked right by it. Alright, whatever, we're done here. See ya. I guess we might as well try and beat, we can just go ahead and beat Ruto's dungeon, because we've already finished it pretty much. Then I should stop and go make that peanut butter sandwich. Oh yeah. Here's a question for you. people out there who enjoy peanut butter sandwiches, as do I, do you eat jelly with them? I never eat jelly on my peanut butter sandwiches. It's always just peanut butter. That is a long-held, I don't know if prejudice would be the right word, bias against that I have. When I was a kid, I would get peanut butter sandwiches and the jelly would always like soak through the bread, and I always found it kind of like disgusting. So I got to where I just liked peanut butter. And then for a while, peanut butter did horrible things to my stomach, so I had to stop eating it. For a while there, I was only eating almond butter, which I do not really think is as good. It's not that it's bad, it's just very different. Almond butter does not taste like peanut butter. They're not the same thing. They don't taste the same. You know, they're very different flavors. So if you go to have like an almond butter sandwich thinking it's going to taste like a peanut butter sandwich, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Let me go get some fairies here. Kill. Check that out. I do like that the game gives you a pretty easy place that you can always go back to you know, to like recover fairies and stuff. It's convenient. I could also use another bottle if I'm being perfectly honest. Be helpful. I don't actually know where the other bottles are, honestly. I know that this game has 4 bottles, but I think when I played the first time I only got 3. So I'm not really sure where the others are. It was a bit unfortunate, that. Eh. Alright, let's go beat Ruto's dungeon. Sure, she'll be very excited. Let's go back via the graveyard area. Maybe there's stuff I can find here. I don't remember. Did I go to the grave? No, this is the first time I've been playing on the in the Dark World. Like, I couldn't remember if I was mixing up my playthrough on the remodel version and this version. Because in the remodel version, I am in the ice world and I've done a couple of things. But in this one, I am completely fresh. So we will go and get things from the church. Welcome to Ice Church. Is there an ice minister here? No, there's just a hole. Okay. Down we go. Oh, there's something here. Oh, okay. Art piece. All right. Very helpful. You know what this room looks big enough for? Tiles. It's like, I picture there are going to be some tiles here. Oh, another bottle! I was just saying I could use another one. Wonderful. I feel like there's something else. Yeah, there's something else here. Secret area. Okay, so now we have all 6 of the parallel tower keys. That's great. So we can now officially go to the parallel tower at anytime we want because we have the keys and we also have the Cane of Samaria. But I'm not going to go there anytime soon. It's very scary. So we're going to hold off on that for a little while. And honestly, it is supposed to be the final dungeon, so... A final dungeon you have to do 3 times, but it is the final dungeon. What's in here? Back up? Oh, no, this is... You come out from the... yeah, I know what that is. Okay, never mind. Back. Hey, man. See you later. Let us check out the cemetery. Let's go for a fun jaunt in the cemetery. Everyone likes the cemetery. Wait. Never mind. I was supposed to go for a fun jaunt in the cemetery and I just walk right past it. Oops. Cemetery, yes. Is there anything I can do here yet? I don't think there is. Ta-da! There's surprisingly little you can do in the cemetery in this game, honestly. You can push graves, some of them. Not all of them, though. As you can see. I kept thinking I could get down here, but you actually can't get down this little path. It drives me crazy because there's a grave up there, and I thought for sure that grave was going to be like a hidden thing, but nope. Oh, good, heart piece. Yay!
Everyone likes heart pieces. Pieces of heart lurking in the darkness.
Bum bum bada bum bum boo boo doo doo da da doo. Oh, there's another one. I'll take that. Yay! Very helpful. It was just hanging out, really. Gnarp is a really fast runner, isn't he? Like those were like alerted village guards trying to catch up with me, and I was just outpacing them like it's no big deal. So good. Alright, so we have everything for this dungeon already, right? I think we got everything here already. Yeah, we're good. We just need to beat the boss. We just have to defeat Cold Stare and his cold stare. Oh, so cold. So frosty. Mr. Cold Stare. Alright, I need you to bump into this bumper. There you go. Thank you. But yeah, I would say that Ruto's Fortress is one of the more dungeon-like of the dungeons. Like, I would say that Darunia's Cavern, Ruto's Fortress, Sheik's Hideout, and Saria's what was Saria's place? Saria's Temple? I can't remember what it was called. Saria's Gardens. It's kind of strange that it's called Saria's Gardens, but there was absolutely no plant life there whatsoever. Just a bunch of lasers. Saria's garden is filled with lasers. She's like, yeah, I've been growing laser plants. It's awesome. It's the most 80s thing you've ever heard of. Grow them laser plants. Yeah, those are the most dungeon-like. And then like Impa's Ways and Naburu's Hole and Rauru's whatever. What was Hermitage, maybe? I don't remember. Those are all kind of like gimmicky. I'm trying to remember what the gimmick of Rauru's place is, though. Maybe just darkness? I recall it being very dark in Rauru's temple, which is ironic considering he is the Sage of Light. I think they probably did that on purpose, actually. Oh, something else I had never noticed that but was pointed out to me on that cutting room floor article about A Link to the Past is the fact that the concept of themed dungeons, like elemental themed dungeons, came about in A Link to the Past. That didn't exist in the games before it. I didn't notice that. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. That is the first time they started theming the dungeons around like an element.
Pretty cool. Everyone likes it. Everyone's like, wow, the best.
That's how everyone sounds when they're talking about A Link to the Past.
They're like, wow, wow.
Ah, screw you, dude. Stupid thing. Now is the time when the fire rod comes in handy. Yes, fire rod OP against the undead. I love it. I love the fire rod when how it deals with monsters. Get some. That combined with the MP regeneration makes the fire rod very, very useful in this game.
Very, very useful.
So very useful. All right. Is this the right direction? I think it is. Ow. get out of it. I'll kill you all. Diddly-yada. Bada. Wait, that didn't open the doors? What? Why didn't that open the doors? Huh? Wait a minute. Is it just a random monster in the room will open the doors? What's going on here? Alright, I did it. I don't know what was different that time, but I did it.
Wow.
Yep. I got so stuck in this dungeon. Like and I think part of it was because I couldn't find that place where you're supposed to move the rock and fall down. I just didn't even think that was going to be a thing. But for like a long time, I was stuck in this dungeon because I just couldn't figure out how to move forward. Oh, that's right. You have to fight Cold Stare in a room where you can fall. So that's fun. Melt. All right, activate this. This would be so much more of a pain without the cane of burner. Thank goodness for the cane of burner. Use your cane of burner today, kids. It's the best. I'm fairly certain these guys are here to help you line up moving through here. Very helpful. Alright. Back we go. So you have to do that because there is actually an invisible wall here that you can't go past until you defeat Cold Stare. Because. Just because. No? Well, maybe I'm not done here yet. I thought I was farther along, but I suppose I'm missing a key. Well, let's go look for a key then, I guess. I'd check my map, but I don't have one of those. That's not a thing in the game. Maps? I don't believe in them. No, sir. There's that one room we didn't go to before. Let's go check that out. Maybe that's where I need to go. Oh, doggone it. I have to go through all this rigmarole with the, pushing the statue again. Ugh. I don't want to push the statue, though. It's very annoying. It's a lot of trouble. It's very tedious having to go through that push the statue part over and over again. But I guess such is life. Hey, man. Whoa! Whoa! That dude just didn't care about the lack of ground beneath him. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm an octopus dude. I don't have to care about the ground. Who do you think I am? An enemy that is famously used to show off how you can knock enemies into holes? Whatever. I guess I should do this and check every skull in case. Doggone it. Stop. Push. There we go. My face turns really red whenever I pull, like, push or pull things. Look how red my face turns. So red. So red. Very, very red. Quite red indeed. Perhaps I become embarrassed when I'm pushing or pulling statues. So embarrassing. Well, perhaps it's just intended to show exertion. It is probably supposed to show exertion. Otherwise, it would be stupid, so. Ow. Whatever. Whatever, I don't care. Uh-oh. How do I get across this gap now? Huh? Okay, good. Cool. Do any of you have keys? Do you have keys? No, you don't. No one has keys. No one has keys. I need a small key. Oh, it's another 3-hour stream. Yeah, I've been a little weird about streaming recently. I used to be very regular, always streaming on the same day and always streaming for 2 hours exactly, but I don't know. Been trying to be a little bit looser about streaming. Not let it be so specific anymore. Still gonna try for Thursdays for at least 2 hours, but, you know. If I want to go longer, that's okay. If I want to stream on a weird day, that's okay. So says I. Nope, okay. Oh yeah, I've got a thing for this. Fire. There we go. Fire. So good. Fire works so well against the living dead. Yeah. There we go. Did I do everything up here? I never went over there. I don't know how to go over there. Screw you, pew bullet guy. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Enough for fix Miles Buck Wild ago. Something. Man. We're here again. Ooh. Did I go to the... I don't think I really explored the lower floor in this room very much. Maybe one of these has a key. Oh, there's a this. Oh, I'm gonna have to move a statue. That's annoying. Go, statue, go! Using my amazing cane of Burna. So broken, but who cares? This game's gonna be obnoxious. I'll be obnoxious right back. Huh. Alright. And up we go. So what is this? What is this? Oh, it's a room I've never been to. That's something. Perhaps there is a key here. Is there a key? Do you have a key? I want a key. A key. Well, gaggle time. Of course. Oh, this all looks significant. Okay. Phew. How do I do this? Did I mess it up? I may have messed it up. Hang on. That. Alright, let me fall in the hole. Fall in the hole. Fall in the hole. Go over here. Check this place first. Nope. Nope. It didn't work. Now I think I really have messed it up. Okay, let me leave. Leave. Come back. Ah, they're still gone. Fudge. Is there a way I can do it otherwise? I don't think I can. Garp. What's up here? Well, alright. Neato. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, that resets everything. Good. Go, Cane of Burna! Continue to allow me to get through the game at a reasonable pace without too much frustration. This game is frustrating otherwise. There we go. Ow. Something hurt me. Whatever. Ow. That hurt me. Still whatever, but at least I know what it was. Losers. Alright. Do this right this time. Go over here. Pick this up. Go over here. Pashu. Yes. Go over here. Pashu. There we go. Did it that time. Hey, there's the key I need. Awesome. Yes. A bunch of dung monsters. Get thee hence, dung monsters. No? Alright, well, I'll just do this then. Whatever. Bye! Fortunately, this is where I need to be anyway, so hooray! I wonder if people will be disappointed watching me play the game extensively using the Cane of Burna. I wonder if people will be like, you didn't really play it or something. I don't know. This is just the way that makes the most sense to me, you know? You're using a tool that the game gives you in a proper way. Seems reasonable to me. Seems so reasonable, in fact, I feel the need to continuously justify my decision. That's how you know I feel good about it, is when I'm constantly justifying it. That's how you know I don't at all feel like I'm cheating. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. Again, especially because I have played it without using the Cane of Burna, but that was frustrating as all get out, and I don't think it would make for very good entertainment. So, we're not going to do it that way, if we can avoid it. Ow. Oh, doggone it. Yep. Neat. Super cool. Honestly, I don't get too worked up about Wallmaster in this game. Because, like, it's easy to defeat Wallmaster, and, like, you get that audio clue of him coming down. So you rarely really get, like, caught by him. Unless you're just really, you know, not paying attention. Which is sort of what happened. Or you're in a situation where you're absolutely stuck. You know, otherwise it's pretty easy to get around him. Now. What? I don't have another key. Man, I need another key? I missed another key somewhere? Where did I miss another key? Heck? Why can't I pick up this one skull? What's the deal with that one skull? It's harder than the others. Why can't I pick up any skulls? What happened? Pick up that one. Well, let me just check this real quick. Again, I'm pretty sure all of the torches are red herrings. Yeah. So, that didn't do me any good. Ah! Like that. Well, I guess I have to go and look more. Again, I once again did not go into that room that I said I was going to check, so maybe it's still there. Ugh, I have to push the statue again. It's so annoying. I hate pushing the statue. It takes forever. Push the statue. Push it. Push the statue. Push it. Push it! With your red face. I'm glad they didn't include a Wallmaster in this room, though. That would have been pretty annoying. Been quite the nuisance. It's like that one room in the actually the Skull Woods in the original game, where it's like you have to push a statue, and it's like a room with, I think there are 2 Gibdos in there, and this is unfortunate. Pull that back a little bit here. There are 2 Gibdos and a Wallmaster, and you're supposed to like push a statue between 2 like walls, and you have to keep like backing up because the Wallmaster keeps falling, and it's a headache. It's one of the more frustrating rooms in that particular dungeon. This is sort of like that. Oh, I haven't mentioned it yet. One thing that's kind of neat, but I think inconsequential, is that this game actually has a day-night cycle. So you'll notice it says it's 8:18 right now in the game. Yeah, and like it'll actually get darker at night, and there's like a sunset and like an early morning state. Again, I don't think they do anything. I think it's just aesthetic, but it is neat. It's kind of cool. Actually, if anybody knows if those do anything, I'd love to hear, because I never found like any sort of time-based anything. It just seemed like a curiosity to me. But neat, you know, it's cool. It's cool to have a day-night cycle in a Zelda game. Well, I guess Ocarina of Time and pretty much every Zelda game after this one had a day-night cycle. But whatever, it's cool. Shut up! Cool. So So there are still a few rooms we haven't figured out yet. There's the door up from here that I never figured out how to get into. So it may still be that, but we will examine and find out. And hopefully the room that I'm thinking of is all the, you know, where we have to go, and we'll be done with it after that. So we'll see. See you later. Yep. I guess I should check and make sure that I opened all of the oh wait, what's this? Nope, it can't be pushed. Okay. I don't think I actually... Did I open all of these skulls before? Guess so. Okay, well, now I know. Yeah, I don't think we ever went up in the next room. We just always went down. So let's check out what's up. Not a whole lot, really? Okay. What's in here? Okay. Oh, there's a key. Awesome. Found the key. Very helpful. Ooh, shooting at me. Stop it. Yeah, there's like all these empty or like unlit braziers in this dungeon, but none of them matter, I don't think. And will this put me out? Yep, okay, cool. So now we have unlocked all the secrets of the dungeon, and we can move on, finally, to finishing Ruto's Fortress. I really thought this would be a much quicker affair. I thought I would just come in here and fight the boss. I forgot there was all this rigmarole with small keys. But it's okay. It's okay. We will survive. And once we finish with this, we will be done with 4 of the Ice World dungeons. That will be great. After that, we will only have Sheik's Hideout, Noburu's Hole, and Rauru's Ruins. So that'll have to be for next time. Y'all enjoying this? Again, I hope y'all enjoy it. I think, like, I was happy when I finished this game. I became kind of obsessed about it, and I didn't have nearly as smooth of a time the last time I played this as I'm having this time. But it was still really cool for me to have beaten this game because, you know, I'd heard the legends, I'd heard of it, and I'd heard how difficult it was, and so it's kind of a mark of pride for me to have beaten it. And now I learned about how awesome the Cane of Burna is, and I'm just breezing through it. But whatever. You know. Use the Cane of Burna, folks. It's very helpful. Ha! It'll protect you from hopping ground levers. Yes. You don't want the ground levers, do you? No, no one does. No one enjoys ground levers. I wonder what the boss of this dungeon is. It's not Cold Stare, we already fought him. Whoa. I'm not really sure. doggone it. Fine, I'll do it again. Friggin' Wallmaster is just wasting my time. The master of the walls. Doing what he does best. Harassing adventurers. He's like, it's my job to just annoy people. I'm good at it. Oh, he did it again! Ugh! You're so annoying, Wallmaster. He's like, yes, that's my job. I'm here to be irritating. I don't hurt you. I just bring you back to the entrance so that you have to do it again. It's so that you can enjoy the ride again. Isn't that great? Isn't that helpful? I'm really your friend. Good old Wallmaster. Old Wallmaster. Alright. Wow. Can't get me if I use the cane of Burna, can ya? Sucker. What's in here? Oh, what? Which one's the real one, though? Why are there two boss rooms? What? What is this? Oh, gaggle. You go here first. This is not a boss room, it's just a boss key room, I guess. Yes? What am I doing here? What is this? What is this madness? Alright, well, I'll see you later. Oh, it's the moth guy! What's up, bro? Bam! Bam, bam! Bam, bam! Look, more fire. Fire? Fire. Moths love fire. And we're done. Yay! Yay! Another dungeon down! Woohoo! Yay! And another dead woman. Hey y'all! I made this recording as a backup in case I never returned from the parallel tower. There was always a question as to how people were split between two worlds. Those who desired the power of the Triforce were led into the tower during the war. They vanished from this world, but I believe they still exist in an alternate reality. A parallel world, if you will. After the war, the heroes sealed the portal between the worlds. We don't know what the other side is like. It could be ruins, it could be harmony, it could be nothing. I ain't got no idea. I just hope we all make it back safely. Nope, that didn't happen because I'm dead. My name is Vera and I have the second clue. You walk through fake things in rooms 4, 8, and 13. This ends my recording. Bye, y'all. Nope, we're good. Luck solving the secret of the parallel worlds. Thank you. Cool. All right. Well, we are doing good. That's going to be it for today, I think. We're making progress. We've gone through 4 of the Ice World dungeons. We've got 3 left, and then we've got the Parallel Tower itself. So I hope y'all continue to enjoy this. Okay, so the wait, 2003, 2016. Interesting. They actually did update this lot, because like when I played the version I played before, it was 2003 through 2007. So pretty impressive. Anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight. I am the MoeChicken. This is The Legend of Zelda Parallel Worlds, and thank you for stopping.